Okay, so with all that said, what we want to do is use these string shapes we have and get into some more detailed stuff that's going on with the shapes. So remember we had cage, CAGED. So the zoom out on this chart is CAGED. There's two columns shown because they're the same, but we're going to do substitutions on the second column of each cage shape. This is just what's going on over here is, this doesn't want to make the height here, but what's going on over here is just a circular representation of the string shapes here. So we have the circular major diatonic string shapes, same exact thing as we've been doing. C is 3, 4, 5, G is 6, 7 root, K fifth of C is G, spell the cage word C, skip A, G, skip E, D, start again, skip C, A, skip G, E, skip D to C. Going backwards, it's a pentatonic ascending scale. So it would be, it's not pentatonic ascending, it's in fourths. So it would be, but we skip every other letter in a pentatonic ascending scale. So it would be C, skip D to E, skip the G shape to the A shape, skip the C shape to the D shape. I'm following with my finger on the piano. Skip the E shape to the G shape, skip the A shape to the C shape. So that's in fourth, it's skip a letter with the cage word backwards. In fifth, it's just skip a letter in the cage word, and that's how we get move around on the fretboard too. So you might start on the E shape here, okay, going in cage. E would go, the fourth of E is the C shape, so that's going to be where? That's going to be up here, way up here. Now why do we have this and this and nothing in between? Okay, because that's the missing fret. That is, see, it's all dark notes. That is in between the C and the E cage. See the space right here? That's that space right here. So if I, but usually they're right next to one another. With C and E, there's the missing fret. There's like a highway going through them. So E shape there, and then we'll go to the fourth of, or we can go up a pentatonic scale, skipping every other letter. So skip the G shape to the C shape there. Okay, and then we go skip the D shape. Let's see, we're going up a pentatonic scale, so we go from E. We're going in fifths now, so we're going up the cage word. So we go from E. Okay, we're going to skip the D to the C, and then we're going to skip the A, and we're going to go to the G. But remember, the G has this lone wolf 7, so it looks like there's a missing fret in there, but there isn't. That 7 belongs to the G cage. Okay, so here's the G cage as we would play the chord, and below that is the C cage down here, and they're borderline, but at pentatonic there's a space in between them. And that's the interesting thing about pentatonic. So let's look at that, and believe it or not, with the string shapes, we've got the pentatonic string shapes here. Okay, these are the diatonics, these are the tritonics, these are the pentatonic string shapes. Okay, I went to the tritonic first here. where we practically have nothing left. We just have root 3 5, root 3 5. So if we're starting on C, we can play a C tritonic. Just here's our C. Remember our C box here? If we want to play just a tritonic, we go 3 5 on the C string, and we're only going to play the root on the G string, and the third on the D string, and the fifth on the A string. Okay, and then we warp up for the root on the E string, and then 5 3. Okay. Okay. It sounds pretty good if you do it in rhythm with something. But no matter where you start, you're going to have the same string shapes. That's why all you have to do is learn 3 things, and then the half diminished. You just learn where these are, but before you do that, you should do the pentatonic string shapes. Okay, so they're easy. Everybody knows these. So it's C 3 5, G 6 root, D 2 3, A 5 6, warp over for root 2 on the E string, and then 3 5. Okay, so no matter where we start on this, no matter what cage inversion we start on, except if we try to do that down here on the E, we're going to run into trouble, because with the E shape, you're starting on the root 2, and then you're not going to be able to get the 3 and the 6. So we'd have to play the long pattern there. I'm not going to do that right now, okay? The long pattern in pentatonic goes, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's see, root 2, okay, 3, 5, 6, root 2. Okay, that's the long pattern pentatonic. We're not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to say that no matter where else on the keyboard you start that E shape, such as for an F here, in pentatonic, it's just going to be root 2, 3 5, 6 root, 2 3, 5 6, root 2. No matter where you start it, the rest of it's just shape fitting these same string shapes. Okay? And you learn how to do that. And shape fitting is basically covered with in the other chart we were looking at. The raw shape fitting is knowing that 5 6 is going to go straight up to root normally, unless it hits the tuning warp. Then you have to move it over. You see, my head went in the wrong direction. I saw it there. I caught it there. You have to move it to the right. That was my right. And then you also have to make sure that we have here a stack of 2 long down here, 3 5 6 root for the CG, and then a stack of 3 short for pentatonic. So like in the D, if we started on that D, it's just 2 3 5 6 root 2. But then we got to go over for that 3, and then that 5, the 6 7 root rather, is going to be warped up. It's like this Marlboro song. Filter flavor. Okay, so that's just a little word about string shape fitting. You got to do the warp, and you got to work the pattern. But the bottom line is, if you know what you're looking for, all you need is the notes. And there's Andy's house snowed in there. Okay, I guess we got to get back to where we were. I usually put a dark screen so we can use the dark screen to actually look at what the drawing tool is doing or has done to our charts. Anyway, we haven't had a snow like that in a while. Okay, so this is the chart, and this is, these are the circles we were looking at, and these are the substitutions.